Delhi counting, and then of course Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. But as I said, there's been lots of debate because the numbers have flummoxed many and the micro data has not been made public yet, which is what Rahul and I are going to do over the next couple of hours. This is where you get all the data on India's election destination.
So we spent the last 24 hours going through the India Today Access My India poll results with a fine-tooth comb. And we pulled out the kind of granular details which will give you a sense of what is happening in Gujarat, in Himachal and in Delhi and why. You'll see the big headlines, but what is moving on the ground and why. We'll try and get you the kind of insights you won't find anywhere else. Let's get started. Here are the headlines. Rajdeep and I are tracking.
The India Today Axis My India exit poll triggers a massive political debate with a cliffhanger predicted in Himachal. The Congress expected to perhaps edge that, but the BJP expected to sweep Gujarat. Congress now may move its MLAs from Himachal, prospective MLAs, to Chhattisgarh or Rajasthan, fearing a hung assembly in Himachal.
Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute flares up again. Protests rage in Belgavi. Sharad Pawar dares CM Bommai, says don't test Maharashtra's patience.
CBI to grill TRS Neta and KCR's daughter Kavita on December 11th in connection with the Delhi liquor scam. This after Kavita requested that her questioning be delayed.
Ex-AAP councillor in the dock over the 2020 Delhi riots case. Delhi court says there was clear objective to harm Hindus.
Big boost for Make in India. Apple is said to be shifting a chunk of its operations out of China to India. But as I said, our focus will be over the next couple of hours in decoding what the exit polls have said. Why is it that we believe the BJP is sweeping Gujarat? Why is it that we believe that the Aam Aadmi Party is possibly making strides? And who really are the beneficiaries? Who is the AAP taking the vote from? And what happens in Himachal? Let's start though first with Gujarat. Rahul has the data on exactly which leader is doing what in Gujarat.
You know, most polls don't get into a seat-by-seat breakup because they're polling only in a few constituencies, using those strengths to extrapolate over the larger assembly. What India Today and Access My India do is go down to every single constituency, seat-by-seat, boots on the ground. And I'll give you a sense now of the likely fate of some VIP candidates. I'll start from the Khambalia seat, where Isudan Gadvi, the chief ministerial candidate of the Aam Aadmi Party, is in the reckoning. Pradeep Gupta and his team of Access My India are predicting for India Today Group that Isudan Gadvi is popular on his seat and could potentially win the seat of Khambalia. That's good news for the Aam Aadmi Party if Access My India's projections are correct. Typically in the past I've seen they have about a 90% track record on a seat-by-seat basis. So they get 9 out of 10 of these calls right. So if you see 10 calls over the next 1 minute, they're likely that 9 of those are going to be right. Let's now come to Jamnagar North, where Rivaba Jadeja, the wife of Ravinder Jadeja, the Indian spinner, batsman, is in the fray on a BJP ticket. It is being projected by Access My India that Rivaba Jadeja is popular on a seat and is likely to win Jamnagar North. Let's now come to Surat, where in the Majura constituency you've got Harsh Sanghvi, the young Minister of State for Home, holds 10 different portfolios. He is popular on his seat and is likely to win in his constituency in the Surat pocket in Majura. From there, let's come to Gopal Italia, the Patidar face of the Aam Aadmi Party. He is fighting in Katargam, and this is again in the Surat belt. And here, even though he thought he had a chance, he's the state party president of AAP, Access My India predicts for India Today that Gopal Italia may lose his election. He's not coming out on top in that survey that we've done. Essentially, since it's a seat-by-seat survey. So you sample 200 plus voters. So what you're seeing over here is the broad sense of what we picked up, what our respondents, what our surveyors picked up on the ground in Gopal Italia and the other people's seat. From there, let's come to Ghatlodia, which is where Bhupinder Patel, the Chief Minister of the BJP, is fighting. He's fighting Amiben Yagnik of the Congress, and Access My India predicts that Bhupinder Patel is likely to win. Against him is Amiben Yagnik, the articulate spokesperson, lawyer of the Congress party, putting up a symbolic fight. She is expected to trail. She is not as popular as Bhupinder Patel. Very difficult to unseat an incumbent chief minister, that too coming from an influential community like the Patidars. Amiben Yagnik likely to lose. From there, we come to the Vadgam seat where Jignesh Mevani, the Dalit leader fighting on a Congress ticket, is in a very tough fight between the BJP and the Congress. I'll pause this and I'll go across to Pradeep Gupta and get a sense so far. I have some more names like Hardik Patel, Alpesh Thakur. I'll take you through. But let's for a moment focus on Jignesh, focus on the names that I've spoken of so far, and get your sense on why you think Jignesh Mevani is fighting a tough fight. This is also why Owaisi's put up a candidate, and therefore it's not as easy as it was the last time. Pradeep.
See, in politics, not necessarily you won that seat last time so that you will win this time, because you switch the sides also. Sometimes voters see that as angle as well. You know, last time he contested differently and this time from the, again, Congress seat. But this time, BJP's momentum in particularly Gujarat is way high than the last time. So this time that momentum seems to be there in this particular seat, particularly for Jignesh Mevani.
You know, I'll slightly disagree with Pradeep on Vadgam because I went there. The fact is, Jignesh Mevani is facing someone from the BJP who was earlier from the Congress.
Correct.
Yeah. You know, the Congress has picked up selected candidates who they think can challenge incumbents in a seat like Vadgam. Vadgam is North Gujarat. It's near Mehsana, which remember is where the Prime Minister hails from. But importantly, Jignesh Mevani established an oxygen plant in Vadgam. And everywhere you went, that was the talk of the town. And I do believe, therefore, even though there is an AAP candidate and an AIMIM candidate there who may take the 90,000 odd Muslim votes from that constituency, I believe Jignesh Mevani has the edge because he's able to consolidate a Dalit Muslim identity in Vadgam. I don't think the anti-BJP vote there will break. And because the BJP candidate is someone who's come from the Congress, you've got Jignesh Mevani successfully able to project the fact that that person is a Gaddar. So my sense is, because of the work he did in Gujarat during COVID, Jignesh Mevani may well have an edge in that tough fight as
no, so here's what we're saying.
It's not that we are saying Jignesh Mevani is losing.
You're saying it's a tough fight.
It's a tough fight.
Pradeep is not saying that.
I think he's going to win easily. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Okay, Rajdeep with his straw poll, Pradeep Gupta with his boots on the ground, 12 surveyors out, but both have a different take. And what you pick up on India Today is different flavors of the election, and each has its own relative merit. Let's now come to Viramgram, which is where Hardik Patel, contesting this time on a BJP ticket. Pradeep Gupta projects that Hardik Patel is likely to win his seat. So that's good news for Hardik Patel. Was earlier in the Congress, switched over to the BJP, was relatively quiet in comparison to how high profile he was in 2017. He is likely to win his seat. From there, let's come to Alpesh Thakur, a former colleague of his.
Rahul, I just want to make a quick point here on Hardik Patel's seat, Vadgam, is that top leadership in BJP believes that he may lose.
And let me give you a very interesting, because I went to Viramgam. Interesting, 70 kilometers outside Ahmedabad. It is a seat which the Congress has won the last two elections. And Lakhabhai Bharwad is a strong man in a sense of Viramgam. But what's happened is, A, Hardik had a little bit of opposition from within the BJP. Many were angry that he had been given the ticket in Viramgam. However, Hemanta Biswa Sarma, Yogi Adityanath all campaigned there aggressively, and Viramgam feels that it has been left behind by neighboring constituencies. You see what's happened in Gujarat, Rahul, interestingly, many constituencies where there have been Congress legislators feel that development works have not come to their constituencies, they've gone to the BJP ruled constituencies. And Viramgam is a good example. Also in Viramgam, there's a large Thakur community there. That's why Hardik is facing a bit of pressure, because it's not a traditional Patidar belt. It's actually a Thakur belt. So the OBC factor there could become an issue there, because the AAP also has put up a candidate there who may eat into some of the votes of Hardik. So Hardik is facing a tough fight, but I do believe he has the edge, because he is a face that people in a BJP dominated area will automatically gravitate towards. So I would give Hardik the edge from what I saw in Viramgam.
Let's come to Alpesh Thakur. OBC leader coming from the Thakur community ran a big campaign on the issue of prohibition and alcohol against the BJP in 2017. This time fighting on a BJP ticket in Gandhinagar South. He is likely to win, according to the prediction of the Access My India poll. From there, let's come to Payal Kulkarni. She's the daughter of a riot convict. Rather controversial ticket given to Payal in Naroda. She is likely to win. That's the poll prediction. Finally, I come to Alpesh Kathiria from the Aam Aadmi Party, Varacha. This is one of the big seats that the Aam Aadmi Party thought they would actually do well in. And Alpesh, in fact, did something really cheeky. When the Prime Minister's roadshow was to happen in Surat, just some time before that, he sat on a motorcycle behind somebody, and you had crowds of BJP voters waiting to receive the Prime Minister, and he went and did a mini Fokatka roadshow of his own, waving out to everybody on his motorcycle. Nobody was amused, but hey, this is politics, and that's just the way it is. He's in a tough fight. The BJP top brass has spoken to some of the big leaders. They're convinced that Varacha, they are winning, and that Alpesh Kathiria is actually going to lose. This will be one of the big seats to look out for. Ajay Umat joins us. Ajay Umat is one of the top political journalists of Gujarat, understands the ins and outs, the nuances of Gujarat politics better than most. Ajay, you'll have your own seat-by-seat prediction. So give our viewers a sense of how your seat-by-seat prediction compares with what we've just seen Pradeep Gupta put out for India today.
Look, I feel that the chief ministerial candidate of Aam Aadmi Party, Isudan Gadvi, is losing from Khambhalia, 100%. In Vadgam, I feel that it would be a photo finish between Waghela and our friend Jignesh Mewani. But Alpesh Alpesh Thakur is definitely going to win, and Amit Bhai has openly said to all the reporters to whom he has invited for dinner at Media Center, he said he will be winning with a thumping margin of 35 to 40,000, because that constituency belongs to Amit Bhai's Lok Sabha constituency, and Amit Bhai has taken personal interest, and I am sure that, Alpesh Thakur is going to win. Hardik Patel, as Rajdeep Sardesai has rightly said, that, there is a lot of issues with Hardik Patel, and local BJP leaders, they are not supporting Hardik Patel. Hardik has complained also to High Command that, local people are not supporting him. Plus, Aam Aadmi Party's Patel, this Alpesh Kathiria and others, they were relieved from a first phase in Surat. They all have come to Hardik's constituency in Viramgam for second phase. They and others, they tried to defeat Hardik. And as Rajdeep Sardesai said, there is a third component. Aam Aadmi Party's candidate, Amarsi Bhai Thakur, Amarsi Bapa, popularly known as, is having 65,000 votes there, where Hardik Patel's Patidar community is having 50,000 voters, and Lakhabhai Bharwad has only 20,000 votes. But there are 41,000 Muslim votes. So Lakhabhai Bharwad last time won because of support of Muslim voters. But this time I think it would be difficult. It would be a very tough fight for Hardik Patel. Having said this, Prime Minister started his 51-kilometer road show from Naroda Patia and Naroda Gam. We all know why Naroda Patia and Naroda Gam is famous for, and Prime Minister has reminded everybody about 2002 riots, and she is daughter of Naroda Patia convict. So I think that's it. They will definitely going to win. But the most important aspect I doubt that, Alpesh Katheria or Gopal Italia would win from Varacha and Katargam constituency respectively, because Prime Minister has personally supervised those areas in Surat and he doesn't want anybody to win. And that's the reason that he had done 28-kilometer road show and he personally spoke to all Patidar leaders at airport. So I think, in all this constituency, it would be difficult for Alpesh Katheria and Gopal Italia to win from Varacha and Katargam respectively.
Where I again disagree
Italia
this time
same.
with Ajay Umad is Varacha. I think out of all the constituencies which the AAP has targeted, Varacha is the one where they are reasonably confident at the moment. I know that what happened in Surat last time, at the height of the Patidar agitation, the BJP swept Surat. So obviously Surat is not easy. Both C.R. Patil and the Prime Minister will make every effort, and they've even got a candidate, the BJP, to withdraw of the AAP from Surat East. So they've made every effort in Surat to ensure that it's a comfortable region for them.
But the
I agree with what he says on Isudan Gadvi. Isudan Gadvi comes from a very interesting constituency which has traditionally been Ahir dominated. In that constituency, he comes as a Gadvi. Gadvis are a much smaller OBC in that constituency. Plus, a lot of powerful pressure groups are operating in that area who want to defeat him. He's given a great fight. And maybe he will, prove everyone wrong. And Pradeep's poll is clearly showing that he's winning. But if he starts winning, Rahul, then I think AAP is doing much better than even expected in Saurashtra. Because if Isudan starts winning, if he wins, as per our poll, Ajay, as per the exit poll, we have to go by what the exit poll says. The exit poll is saying
Rajdeep, give me
that
10 seconds.
No, as
Give me
per
10
the
seconds.
as per the exit poll, Isudan Gadvi is winning. If he starts winning, that means the Aam Aadmi Party is genuinely making an impact in Saurashtra. That's the big picture.
Okay. So,
Rajdeep, in that constituency, there are two Ahir leaders are contesting. One is Vikram Madam, who is sitting MLA from Congress Party, and the other is Mudubhai Bera. Both are Ahir, and Gadvi belongs to a community where there are only 15,000 votes. But Ahir have patched up of late because they said that except barring one exception from 1962 to 2022, every time Ahir had won, and this time Ahir have decided, because BJP has promised that Mudubhai Bera would become minister, and that's the reason that Ahirs have compromised in favor of Mudubhai Bera, who, as you said, that belongs to a very influential group and is likely to win. That is what my information is. And Isudan has admitted to India Today Group's Gopi Gangal this evening that he will do social work if he loses from that constituency. In a way, he has admitted his defeat.
Okay, we leave it. As I said, there are a lot of caste permutations that play out in an election. But the big picture is, if some of these numbers that Pradeep has put out of individual candidates, Rahul, turn out to be true, it means that the Aam Aadmi Party is not just getting vote share, they're winning seats.
no, so stay with me as I now try and explain to you what I think is one of the most significant insights from the India Today Access My India data. What I'll show you now, we put out an overall picture saying that the AAP could end up with about 20% of the vote, and virtually every observer of Indian politics has been wondering, ye vote kahan se aa raha hai? So now, out of that total 20, Pradeep Gupta and Access My India are projecting for India Today that 5% of the vote comes from the BJP out of that 20. So 5% BJP voters breaking away for AAP, 12% of that vote, which is the big bulk, the majority of that vote, coming from the Congress, 3% coming from others. What that essentially means is that 6 out of 10 people who said they voted for AAP were originally Congress voters who this time have flipped. Out of the 5% who voted for AAP from the BJP, which means that about 1 in 4 AAP voters are traditionally BJP voters. So the propensity, Pradeep, is for AAP to break the traditional Congress vote much more than the BJP vote, and your data also suggests that.
Yes, that's true. And in fact, when we try and further decode the data, we will, last time, I just wanted to make sure all our viewers that last time Access My India predicted the lower range of 99 for the BJP, and BJP secured only 99. And higher range for the Congress and Alliance, which is 80 seats to 77 plus 3 seats of BTP, 2 and 1 of NCP, Congress secured. So last time, Muslim voted 84% in favor of Congress. This time, that vote share of Muslim community for Congress is only 54% and 30 went to Aam Aadmi Party. Now coming to most important and interesting part of last election, the 2017 election, which was the Patel's Patidar agitation, and on the virtue of that, among the Kadwa Patel, Congress secured 50%, BJP 44%. Congress got a better share than BJP among the Kadwa Patels. This time, that has reduced for Congress to 16.
1-6.
1-6.
So it's crashed.
It's crashed, and BJP now securing 58% and 20% going to
So the entire
Aam Aadmi
past
Party.
agitation, in some sense, is now defunct or defanged by the BJP.
You know, linked to that is a very important number. When you look at Aam Aadmi Party Congress, 31% of scheduled tribe vote in a state with a 15% scheduled tribe. Scheduled tribes are more in Gujarat than Dalits. Dalits are about 8 to 9%, STs are 15%, 27 reserved seats. AAP has got 31% as per the exit poll. Congress is getting 27%. I don't know when last STs voted more for a party other than the Congress in a state election in Gujarat. National election, the BJP gets a higher vote percentage there. But in a state election, and I can tell you, congressmen are looking at this figure very carefully. A senior Congress poll analyst told me this morning, I am shocked by these numbers. Is this true? And they wanted our micro data to be made available to them because they said it can't be possible that among Dalits and tribals we are doing not as well as we expected, because even in Dalits it's 35% Congress, 30% AAP. Okay. So AAP has eaten into a traditional Congress vote bank, Rahul, and that's why the AAP has damaged the Congress much more than it has damaged the BJP in this election.
I want to show our next data set, which again is very fascinating. It tells you how much of the vote that the parties won in the last election have they retained, how much have they lost, and who have they lost it to. So let's start from the BJP, which won 49% of the vote share last time. They have retained about 80% of their voters. 80% of those who voted for BJP have tended to vote for the BJP again. 5% have switched over to the Congress, 10% going to the Aam Aadmi Party. Amongst those who voted for the Congress in the last election, the Congress has been able to retain only 53%, 12% going to the BJP, 28% of that going to the Aam Aadmi Party. That's a big number there. Congress holding on just to about half the people who voted, who said in the poll they voted for the Congress the last time. And that's really important as well, Pradeep, because that essentially suggests that in comparison to 2017, amongst those who voted for the Congress has lost about 47% of their vote.
Yeah, that's what I kept on saying. In Gujarat, there are three demography, caste demography, which is the Dalit, Adivasi and Muslim, contributes about 30%. And last time, Congress also secured the vote of Patels, which is the 16% in total. And Congress got roughly 50% of Patel votes, which is a very sizable number. And this time, the Patels has went away to BJP, whereas this 30% of Dalit, Adivasi and Muslims, bulk of went to Aam Aadmi Party.
And that is why the Congress should be deeply, deeply disturbed about the trends coming from Gujarat. A, they fought a half-hearted campaign. B, in the numbers, their vote bank has been broken apart. They're just, it's just like the breaking apart of the Congress vote bank in Gujarat, which has hurt them. This time could potentially be worse in the next election. Supriya Shrineth now joins us from the Congress. We've got R.P. Singh from the Bharatiya Janata Party. Priyanka Kakkad is a spokesperson of AAP. Supriya Shrineth, to you first. You've ceded ground amongst the Dalits, ceded ground amongst the Muslims, ceded ground amongst the tribals. The upper castes you never really had. To some extent in 2017, you got the Patel vote on the back of the Patidar agitation. If you look at the composition of the Congress's vote bank, it seems to have come apart by half. 53% of those who voted for you have voted for you again. The rest seem to have switched over, majority to AAP.
No, with all due respect to everything that has been discussed in the last 25 odd minutes, please understand this is an exit poll. We are not dissecting the final results just yet. And unlike what you may say, I am far more hopeful than some of you give us credit for, both for Gujarat and for Himachal Pradesh. I'm reasonably certain in Himachal we will form a full majority government and nothing is going to stop us from that. I actually want to go back to something that you said in the lead up to the question to me, where you said a half-hearted campaign. Yes, we do not have the resources of Mr. Modi and the media doesn't cover us 24/7, but please don't take away from the fact that we fought a very good election. It was a well-coordinated election. It was fought by the local leadership that was empowered to fight that election. And I think the counter question that I want to raise is, if at all our vote share does go down, what is it going down on account of? Who's chipping away those votes? And no, I'm not saying, before anybody jumps to my throat and says we have the divine right to contest. No, I'm not saying that. It's as fundamental a right to contest an election as casting a vote. But the question that I will raise is, who is doing the rescue act for BJP state after state? Whether it was Uttarakhand, whether it was Goa, Himachal Pradesh that they tried to do but failed to do, or Gujarat. It is the Aam Aadmi Party, and I think some very tough questions need to be asked to, or the AIMM. And why should I not call them the B teams of the BJP?
No, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why.
But why
I'll tell you why, Supriya.
Come down as rescuers.
Sure. You know, Supriya Shrinet, you're saying B team, you're saying rescuers. But the fact is, a political party will look at who is the most vulnerable opponent and target them. If the Aam Aadmi Party today sees the Congress as more vulnerable, they have every right to chip away at your vote share. As you said, you have no divine right to fight for the anti-BJP space. If the other parties believe they are in a better position to do so, why not? You've tried 25 years to defeat the BJP in Gujarat and failed. If some other party now says, look, we are in a better position, give us 10 years, where we gave the Congress 25, who is to stop it? Your party in Gujarat, you will admit, has been run by individuals, never as a collective.
I'm making, Rajdeep. That is exactly the point that I'm raising, Rajdeep, and thank you for taking me in that direction. That's exactly the point that I'm raising. Is AAP anti-BJP? Does AAP offer anything that is diametrically opposite to what the BJP stands for? Or do they actually toe the narrative that the BJP lays out? Did AAP, even one of their leaders, and I can put it on as a matter of record, did even one of the AAP leaders talk about the release of rape convicts in Gujarat? Did they talk about the riots that were happening in Delhi and a certain community was being targeted? Why? Do they offer anything that the BJP does not? Okay. Are they opposing the BJP?
But are you really telling me that they are occupying the anti-BJP space? Ma'am, but they are occupying the anti-BJP space. Look at the groups that are drifting towards them. They are traditional Congress groups.
That's exactly what I'm asking. Where?
In Gujarat, as per our survey.
I think you guys give them too much credit and disproportionate. No, Rajdeep, I don't want to get into an argument with you. The media gives them disproportionate media time. You give them too much credit. They were going to form 100 seats. It was given in some writing or something. Will you hold Arvind Kejriwal accountable for not getting 90 seats in Gujarat? You will not. Will you hold Arvind Kejriwal accountable? What was he doing in Himachal Pradesh? And why did he run away? Will you ask him questions? Why was he telling the teachers from Punjab, ye bhade ke tattu hai? You will not ask these questions because the media is way too kind to Aam Aadmi Party, and I don't have a bone to pick with you there. I don't even have a bone to pick with you on disproportionate screening of the Aam Aadmi Party. You are entitled to do that. You're free to do that. But it is also time to ask the tough questions. Is AAP offering anything that the BJP is not offering? Okay. That's all that I'm asking.
Instead of getting caught up in political rhetoric, we want to focus in this broadcast on the data, and we did an extrapolation. Now, this is something that Rajdeep asked for. So, Rajdeep, you please explain why you asked for it. I don't think it works like that, but essentially, Rajdeep told the producers that what would have happened if AAP and the Congress would have fought this election together. Now, so what we've taken is we've added the Congress and the AAP vote share in a very hypothetical situation and then looked at vote share percentages, which is easy to get, and then converted them into seats. So what this essentially says is that if the AAP and the Congress had fought together, the BJP and this alliance would have had 46% vote share each. The BJP would have still won at 99. AAP and Congress could have got 83 seats. But this is Khayali Pulao, Rajdeep. Castles in the air.
No,
Elections aren't fought like that. And vote share doesn't get transferred. We saw that with SP and BSP in Uttar Pradesh.
No, I agree with you that elections are both about arithmetic and chemistry. And to see the chemistry of the AAP and Congress working together is unlikely. Supriya Shrineth is not wrong when she says that, the AAP is in a way targeting us. Of course they are. Look, at the moment the Aam Aadmi Party wants to emerge as the principal challenger to Narendra Modi. And that's exactly what they're doing. So therefore this alliance was unlikely. My only limited point is this, that in Gujarat there is a large anti-BJP vote, an anti-incumbency vote. Those who've gone on the ground will tell you numerous stories, anecdotally, of people who feel left out of the Gujarat model. What's happened is the Arvind Kejriwal narrative, whether you call it freebies or Revdi, or whether you look at it as health and education, has attracted a number of Gujaratis who feel that these issues have never been spoken about.
That's one way of looking at it. The other way of looking at it is, even if Kejriwal and Congress had come together, the BJP would have still won.
Of course.
That's the way RP Singh, I'm sure, is looking at the data, that forget the anti-incumbency vote, there'll always be anti-incumbency vote, even if your principal opponents had fought together. The BJP in Gujarat, RP Singh, is so strong that it would have still reached the 99 mark, which is what they had the last time. That's the other way of interpreting the same data.
Yes, it is.
Well, Rahul, Rajdeep answered it, that arithmetic doesn't convert into chemistry. And elections are not contested on arithmetic, they are contested on chemistry. The chemistry which you make with voters, and it's very different. But I was just hearing Supriya Bahanji, she said that Aam Aadmi Party hurted them in Uttarakhand. I was just checking Uttarakhand, they just could barely make 3%, got only 3% vote. So it was, they were swiped up in Uttarakhand, and same is the case in UP also. They were completely, they lost their deposit in UP. Goa, they got some 6% vote, 6 point some percent vote, which made them a regional party that time, the party which could be recognized in Goa that time. But this narrative that Aam Aadmi Party is B team of BJP, ma'am, the first time it was your party which gave support to Aam Aadmi Party, and because of that they came into being. Had you not supported, your 8 MLAs not supported Aam Aadmi Party in 2013, then they would have never been into what Aam Aadmi Party is today. So it's your creation, so you have to
Team
suffer your
Kejriwal has been
also.
floating the idea of an
Rajdeep,
alliance. The Congress scoffing at that idea, saying that's ridiculous and preposterous. Why should we ally with the Aam Aadmi Party and sign our own death warrant?
Rahul, another point, sorry.
Yeah,
Dasso ji,
please complete.
Rahul, another small point. Can I make a small point, very small point?
Go on.
And Rajdeep, you try your best to project Aam Aadmi Party as a challenger. It's not working. Mark my word, they have reached their peak, and then now onward, they'll start going down. And then the reason is because freebies don't work. As Rahul Srivastava in your earlier show said, Pied Pipers can sell dreams to a certain extent, but if they're not backed up with ideology and cadres, it don't work. I mean, what happened after...
No, but RP Singh makes an important point, Rajdeep, and I want you to answer this. At what point on Thursday do you say that the Aam Aadmi Party's balloon has burst, and at what point can they actually beat their chest and claim we've made a dramatic entry? So is the double-digit seat figure important? Like if they're in single digits, then you say this is hardly anything. There have been so many parties that have won, BSP also, some other parties also have won some seats, and therefore this is very marginal, the BTP for example. Where do you say, oh my God, this is fantastic? Because to think it is fantastic is very different from it actually being fantastic.
15% and above.
Vote share.
Vote share. This is not about seats. Please appreciate, you are in a two-party state. Even the mighty Shankar Singh Waghela, Chief Minister of Gujarat, formed his own party, Rashtriya Janata Party. They ended up in single digit, both in seat share and in vote share. Keshubai Patel, two-time former Chief Minister, formed his party in Gujarat. They ended up in single digits in seat share and vote share. If a political party which has national aspirations gets double digits in any state, it gives them a platform. Look, Kejriwal has to also realize this is a long race. Is he a lamba race ka ghoda, or does he want short? If he gets on Thursday 15 to 20%, anything above 20% will be, I think the story along with the BJP's 7th consecutive win. But if he gets less than 15%, then it just shows.
No, but RP Singh makes an important point from the BJP's perspective. So much time is being spent speaking about who comes third. I mean, what about those who won the election or even those who came second? जिसको bronze medal मिला उस पे इतना time और energy खर्च कर रहे हो?
Because the BJP is expected to win Gujarat. You see, when you are
no, but can I say one second? No. When you speak to any BJP leader, he'll say nothing. No one is expected to do anything. Every election has to be fought and won. You can take nothing for granted.
Rahul, from 1995 to 2022, we are talking of 27 years. A yug ho gaya hai. BJP is the dominant party of Gujarat. It will do whatever it takes to win Gujarat. It is deeply entrenched into
the CPIM was in West Bengal from 77 to 2011.
As it was.
And then they got hammered.
And then there was no credible challenger till Mamata Banerjee emerged in 2011. The point is, over the last 25 years, no credible challenger has been there to the BJP. I am not saying that Kejriwal will be that challenger, but if he is 15 to 20%, it opens up possibilities. Look, politics is never static, Rahul. You never know what 5 years does. I gave you the example, a Congress party which got 149 seats in 1985 in Gujarat, by 1990 was down to 30 odd seats. This is how politics changes. My point is, what is the AAP going to do next? Priyanka Kakkar, based on what we are talking, and there Sardar RP Singh and Supriya Srinath may have points, is the AAP only a bubble that is about to burst, or are you going to do the long race? Are you ready to be in Gujarat for the next 10 years and fight the battle? Or is this only about creating a noise ahead of 2024?
Rajdeep, good evening to everyone.
Den.
I mean, it's high time that you take us seriously. We've performed well. We've been here. I mean, we're the fastest evolving party. We already formed the government in 2 states. BJP is trying to enter Delhi for 23 years and they have 8 seats now. You know, there's one interesting facet that I noticed, which I must mention. The least that you give us is 9 seats. If I take that figure in Gujarat, it is still higher than what BJP has in Delhi after 23 years. So I would consider that a win, taking your exit poll on face value.
Delhi BJP
I'm sorry, I can't help it. You can't blame.
And you are rubbing it in. You're rubbing some salt in RP Singh's wound.
It is a fact. It is a fact.
Okay, this is AAP heckling you. RP Singh, they are doing better in Gujarat than you are in Delhi.
You gave them enough time. Please let me complete. You gave them a lot of time, Rahul. Second conclusion that I come
very small point. Where is Kanwal?
She's barely got a chance. Let Priyanka conclude. I'm coming to you.
Please, I wait for everyone. I don't know what happens when I start speaking. Yeah. In 1985, BJP scored 15% and scored 11 seats. You are giving us 20%. I can't help but be happy. Okay. Then again, Gujarat, you know, in the list, Gujarat is a state which has promoted us to the status of a national party. Again, a reason to be jubilant. Then again, another thing is that out of 20, if you're giving us 20%, which essentially means that 1 out of 5 Gujarati voted for us. Another reason to be jubilant. Then again, you know,
this she's thought through. I must tell our viewers, even Arvind Kejriwal, but even Arvind Kejriwal is doing the same thing. When he's asked that you were saying 90, look at the number of seats you are getting. He says, "Wo to bolna hi padta na. You have to talk up your chances. Only then will you be able to create the incipient belief that people will vote for you."
No, look at
so now he's saying, "Wo to bolna hi tha. You can't take that seriously."
Let's be fair here. What did Mr. Amit Shah say in Bengal? If you remember all his speech in Bengal, we'll get 200 plus. They ended up with 70 odd, which was a remarkable performance in itself, emerged as the principal opposition party. We said it's a big defeat. However, it has given them a platform to perhaps become the party of the future of Bengal. So in a state like Gujarat, if the Aam Aadmi Party gets even 10 MLAs and 20% vote share, they will create hell in Gujarat. Day after day, they will start exposing scams. Because Gujarat, there's a lot of corruption on the ground. No one denies that. Anyone who's gone to Gujarat knows of the scam. The problem for the Congress, and Supriya Srinath will know this, she may not admit it publicly, for the longest time there has been, as Gujaratis will tell you, setting between the BJP and Congress. There's a transport operator who is a Congress leader's son who's been given all the contracts by the BJP. There are hotels where there are BJP and Congress leaders who have a land deal in them. This is how Gujarat has been run, and that's why the Congress has suffered. For 10 years, the leader of the Congress in in Gujarat was Shankar Singh Waghela, who all his life was an RSS BJP man. The Congress has never been able to project a credible leadership in Gujarat. Ahmed Patel was their main face, but he was based in Delhi. But he ran Gujarat from Delhi. You knew because he, as a Gujarati Muslim, could never be projected as a face. This is the reality. The AAP is occupying a space because many Gujaratis think there is a setting between the BJP and the Congress. That is the reality.
Priyanka, he is batting for you.
No, I'm not batting for you. I'm telling you the reality. I'm telling you, Mr. Singh, why they've reached 20%. I'm not batting for anyone.
Rajdeep, mark my word.
I'm a bad batsman.
Mark my word. Mark my word. Please allow me to say something. Mark my word. You will be here, I'll be here. We'll be sitting back in the debate. Where is Colonel Kotial in Uttarakhand today? Why is he deserted or left Aam Aadmi Party?
Where is
Shankar
Kumar ji of Himachal
Because he could
Pradesh
see
today?
through that what do Aam Aadmi Party mean. And mark my word, this is going to happen in Gujarat also. This is going to happen in Gujarat also.
Okay. So you're saying that the Aam Aadmi Party after losing will run away. That's what they're saying. That they don't have a Suvendu Adhikari who's fighting Mamta even after they become the main opposition party.
We can't say that at this moment.
No, that's what RP Singh is claiming. RP Singh is claiming AAP will run away from the battle after the election.
He's been hoping that for the past decade. It's not happening. There is one more point about Congress.
Respond to the point that the anti-incumbency in Gujarat was actually against the opposition. The anti-incumbency was against the Congress, which is why Gujarat is seeming to throw up the kind of verdict that it is. Supriya Shinde.
No, I first want to go and denounce every word that Rajdeep said about some setting that is a figment of his imagination. Forget about that. I want to denounce that. I actually want to ask the counter question. You know, there seems to be some desperation. 1 second, ma'am, I'm not talking to you. There is some desperate attempt to somehow talk up the stock of Aam Aadmi Party. I've tracked stock markets, so I can tell you, stock mein bhi dam hona chahiye. Himachal ki baat kyun nahi kar rahe? Why are we not showing them the mirror? Arvind Kejriwal was campaigning in Himachal also. Where are they in Himachal? I would like to ask
you
them.
can't get,
I really
as an
want to
anchor,
ask
you
them.
can't get ahead of my rundown.
And I think RP Singh asked the right
Himachal
question.
Pradesh next. What makes you think we are not going to Himachal Pradesh?
I'm not.
Don't throw my rundown out of sequence.
You stick to your iNews. I am not running ahead of your rundown.
We are going to Himachal Pradesh
next. You stick to
next.
your iNews. And you and I both know what that stands for. But I am only saying a simple thing. I think RP Singh raised a question and I'm going to reiterate it, quite a rarity. What does Aam Aadmi Party stand for? Colonel Kotial to BJP ke pravakta bane hue hain. What is the chief ministerial candidate doing in Goa? I would like to know. What is the chief ministerial candidate doing in Uttarakhand? I just told you. Okay. I mean, they have to realize for themselves what do they stand for. I really think they need to be shown the mirror. They need to tell their stand on contentious issues.
Before that,
what is their ideology? That is all that matters.
I want to ask Pradeep Gupta, because remember, in the manner in which India Today and Access My India conduct this post-poll exercise, in the first phase, which is say on the second, the third and the fourth, you have a very extensive opportunity to do a detailed post-poll study. The fifth data is actually pre-poll, just done ahead of the actual counting, where things could potentially change because some of your assumptions may change based on actual voter behavior. So you've now had 24 extra hours to study your data in depth. If you were doing the same projections for us today, which you did yesterday, where you didn't have the second phase final data, what would change and why?
Aam Aadmi vote share would have reduced.
From 20 to what?
From 20 to roughly around 15.
So you are reducing them by 5. So in the second...
No, I'm not reducing. It would have reduced. What we are seeing today is the drop in Aam Aadmi. There is no why. People, this North Gujarat and Central Gujarat is different.
So where is that 5%
than
going?
Saurashtra and South Gujarat.
Is that 5% then going to add to 5 on the Congress side?
No, 3 to Congress side and 2 to BJP.
So Congress could then go from 26 to about 29, 30.
Yeah, something like
and
this.
And BJP could then Rajdeep can't say BJP has lost 2-3% vote.
I just want to tell you Rajdeep's point. I'll just wanted to make a comment on
one second. If the vote shares come down by 5%, how does that impact seat share?
Seats will be less than 9 for sure.
So you're saying single digits?
Single digit.
Okay.
So Rajdeep kept on saying there is an anti-incumbency in Gujarat. There is an anti-BJP vote. That's also true. You remember, Rahul, both of us there, and they clearly say, साहब नीचे वालों के तो भरोसे हमारा कुछ नहीं होता, वो तो सब काम के नहीं है, लेकिन मोदी को नहीं छोड़ सकते हैं. So problem is, voters want BJP's alternate, but not Modi's.
That's right. So, and I'll tell you why the first phase and second phase is... Gujarat has voted differently. AAP is a concentrated vote in Saurashtra and South Gujarat, in the poorer parts, in the rural parts. As you come to North and Central, North in particular, I believe the Congress will do well. There are Congress individual candidates who will do well. Congress is relying, Rahul, in this election on individual candidates. And there are a number of individual candidates where the Congress will do well. AAP didn't have 182 candidates who are of substance. They've relied that Kejriwal will come and, pull them up. That's not going to happen. And the Modi factor is critical. The BJP is, brand BJP today is not as powerful as brand Modi.
So I actually did a cross tab, which is put the data from all the 3 exit polls together, compared as an aggregate and for the BJP, how many people voted for the BJP because of the Prime Minister. So forget everything else, party, candidate, state government, chief minister. How many people said, humne Bhajpa ko vote diya because of Prime Minister Modi? I'll get you those details. Very fascinating insights. And this is actually backed by data. So you'll see the Modi factor in Gujarat, the Modi factor in Himachal, the Modi factor in the MCD polls. But we'll do that on the back of a quick break. I want to welcome also Ashwini Sharma, who's joining us now. Ashwini is a senior journalist from Himachal Pradesh. That same exercise which we did where we looked at the seat-by-seat breakup of key VIP candidates in Gujarat, we'll do that for Himachal. And importantly, we look at how many independents might win. On how many seats are independents looking strong, that will be a big factor because the Congress leader I was speaking to this morning said they're already keeping track on their Bhavi MLAs, their prospective MLAs, so nobody runs away.
No, Bhupesh Baghel and B.S. Hooda have flown to Shimla. They have flown to Shimla today with the clear objective that they will keep some of these MLAs in mind who they may well fly out to Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh to keep them, in safekeeping. But remember, they did the same thing in Uttarakhand. And eventually the BJP won Uttarakhand.
No, in Goa they went to sleep when they woke up in the morning. That's right. Nitin Gadkari already formed the government.
That was Digvijay Singh in Goa. But I think the critical factor, why is Himachal so important as we head into the break?
You say Digvijay Singh, and each time he meets us, he says, it wasn't me, why do you keep harping on the same thing? Then he explains the story and how he blames somebody else.
Well, I was privy to what happened because I was trying to talk to all sides that night in Goa, one of my home states, but I come back to it. Himachal is important because we know that Gujarat is going the BJP's way, barring some kind of absolute miracle. We know that MCD is going the way of AAP. Himachal, Rahul, will decide whether this election means the Congress completely isolated or does the Congress still have hope in certain states. So Himachal, critical, I believe, if Pradeep Gupta's numbers are right or wrong, will be, it will change completely the mood of political parties.
Bragging rights on Thursday will be determined by Himachal Pradesh. If the BJP wins Himachal Pradesh, they'll be beating their chest and saying, MCD is just a municipal election, forget that, it doesn't matter, it's not even a state. We won Gujarat 7 times, that's a record. We fought off anti-incumbency after 35 years in Himachal, that's a record as well. Bragging rights based on what happens in Shimla. We've done some fascinating deep dives into the data from Himachal Pradesh. I'll get you those when we come back on the other side of a very quick break. Stay with us, back in a moment.
भैया जी हमला। भैया जी 10 गोलियां ले ले।
गोलियां नहीं रज्जा, गोली।
पर बाहर तो 10 लोग हैं।
10 हो या पूरी बस, अब तो बस 1 है तो डन है। इसको कोई वॉच कराओ। जब वॉचो मिले ढेर सारे ओटीटी ऐप्स एक ही प्लान में तो हर कोई बोलेगा वॉचो 1 है तो डन है।
वॉचो प्लान स्टार्टिंग एट जस्ट 42 रुपीज पर मंथ। आज ही सब्सक्राइब करें और पाएं सिलेक्ट प्लान्स पर 1 महीना कॉम्प्लीमेंट्री।
Aam Aadmi Party confident of a landslide win. Can the Congress party make inroads? Will BJP retain power? Who will win Delhi ka dil? The dangal is over. Get ready now for the verdict. Tune into India Today for the fastest and accurate results.
Verdict with Preeti Chaudhary and Pooja Shan on 7th December. Only on India Today TV.
Traveling from different parts.
Armed with facts,
Looking at political back.
she takes the news by its horns.
Do you think the future of these students are not hampered?
Fierce, bold and direct, setting the tone for the biggest stories from every corner and every angle. Expect nothing but the unfiltered truth.
News first, niceties later. Watch me, Nabila Jamal, on India Today.
India's ace shuttler. A former world junior #1. And a youth icon finds himself in trouble over allegedly fudging his age. Badminton star Lakshya Sen booked in an FIR. The FIR filed in Bengaluru claims Lakshya's family and coach forged his birth certificate to avail government facilities. The complainant, Govippa Nagaraj, claims the 21-year-old shuttler has been playing with the doctored age certificate since 2010 and depriving other youngsters from badminton platforms.
बच्चे लोग अभी उस स्पोर्ट्स में खेल रहे हैं, ये सब ऐसा किया तो वो लोगों के लिए बर्बाद हो जाएगा, प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगा उसके लिए, इसके लिए वो सब क्लीन करना है.
Lakshya Sen's family and coach rubbished the charges, claiming them to be motivated campaign. Lakshya's father added that the baseless charges have disturbed Lakshya.
देखो ये जो मैटर है इन्वेस्टिगेशन पे है और ये एक उनका अपना वो है और बता हमारे हिसाब से ये बेसलेस है और ये केवल मलाइन करने के लिए, एक इमेज डैमेज करने के लिए है ना, और एक मोटिवेटेड है ना.
Lakshya, an Arjuna Award winner, has many top honours to his credit, including Youth Olympic Laurel and World Championship bronze. He also grabbed gold in 2022 Commonwealth Games. Can the champion player emerge unscathed from the controversy? Bureau Report, India Today.
Chinese company Alibaba has reportedly diluted its stake in Zomato to 10% from 13%. The e-commerce platform likely sold 26 crore shares for about $200 in trade today. The Zomato stock was up 3.5% in today's trading session. So what is really next for this particular stock? Here is what Divam Sharma of Green Portfolio has to say.
Alibaba Group is planning to sell a stake of around 3% in Zomato worth $200 million through a block deal. Earlier also, the company's co-founder Mohit Gupta resigned, and the stock is actually down over 60% from its 52-week high. So what are your thoughts on Zomato, and where is the stock headed according to you?
So if you look at the Zomato's balance sheet, the debt is almost insignificant. There is, in fact, a significant cash on the books on the balance sheet. If you look at the market is further consolidating with news like Amazon going out of the food delivery business, which is a very positive news for this duopoly business, which is Swiggy and Zomato. The worst news, which includes exit of some of the senior officials or exit of some anchor investors or fall in valuations in global tech product companies, is already factored in. Like the guidance of the company also says that the company on a broader level will be operationally profitable in the next 2 to 4 quarters if you keep aside the quick commerce business, right? So profitability is also coming.
Presented by Star Health Insurance, the health insurance specialist. Co-powered by OLXautos.in. Only OLX Autos gives OLX extra price for every car. In association with Titan Eye Plus, expert who cares. AMD, take the quantum leap in performance.
Hello and welcome once again to India's election destination. India today is building up to what's going to be an exciting 48 hours as we build up into counting all the debate around the Axis My India exit poll. Are our numbers right and wrong? And if they are right, why are they right? What really are these numbers telling us? Rahul and I are decoding for you the big exit poll.
There is so much chatter around the value that Prime Minister Narendra Modi brings to the BJP. Everybody has a broad sense that it's Modi who leads the BJP to power. But can that be quantified? Is there a way of knowing how many people voted the way they did because of the Prime Minister? And what would happen if the Prime Minister wasn't there? Hypothetically, of course, what might happen to the BJP vote share? So what we'll do is, we'll do a dive into the Axis My India exit poll numbers for the India Today group and try and quantify the numerical value in vote share that Prime Minister Modi brings to the BJP ticket. So some fascinating analysis coming up in the next 1 hour.
But first, of course, it's time for the headlines. The India Today Axis My India exit poll triggers a massive political debate with a cliffhanger predicted in Himachal Pradesh, a sweep for the BJP in Gujarat. Sources now say the Congress may move its MLAs from Himachal to Rajasthan or Chhattisgarh if a hung assembly appears on the horizon. The Maharashtra-Karnataka border dispute flares up. Again, protests rage in Belgavi. Sharad Pawar dares Chief Minister Bomai, says don't test Maharashtra's patience. CBI to grill TRS Neta and KCR's daughter Kavita on December 11th in connection with the Delhi liquor scam. This after Kavita requested that her questioning be delayed. Ex-AAP councillor in the dock over 2020 Delhi riots. Delhi court says Tahir Hussain was aiming to target Hindus during the riots. And a big boost for Make in India. Apple set to shift a chunk of its iPhone production out of China after protests at its Foxconn plant. And the World Bank revises India's GDP growth forecast to 6.9% for financial year 2022-23 from an earlier 6.5 projection, cites robust economic activity in the country.
Everybody has his or her own opinion on the value that Prime Minister Modi brings to the BJP ticket in state elections. But so far, you don't have a specific number to how many people say they voted for the BJP just because the Prime Minister, not the MLA, not the state government, but because of Narendra Modi. So I'm going to break that down state by state for you and also give you a hypothetical sense of what the BJP's vote share could be if you remove this section of voters. So I'll start with Gujarat, where the BJP is predicted by Access My India to get a vote share of 46%. Out of the total 46% voters who said they voted for the BJP, 12% said they voted for the BJP because of Prime Minister Modi. So take that out, it comes down to 34%. Without Prime Minister Modi batting for the BJP, only 34% said they voted either for the party or the MLA or the minister or the state government or the chief minister. 12% said they voted for the BJP because of Prime Minister Modi, which means 1 in 5 of those who voted for the BJP said they did so in Gujarat because of Prime Minister Modi. And it's not just in Gujarat. Let's now cut across to Himachal Pradesh, where the BJP is predicted to get a vote share of 42%. Out of the 42% who said they voted for the BJP, 10% said they voted for the BJP because of Prime Minister Modi, which means take that 10% out, it will come down to 32. You would have a very, very different situation in Himachal, which at this moment looks tight, but would be very different if you didn't have 10% of the overall voters, which means, again, as was the case in Gujarat, 1 in 5 of the total voters who voted for the BJP, they say primarily because of Prime Minister Modi. Let's now go across to the MCD election in Delhi, which isn't really comparable directly to a state election, but still gives you a sense of how popular the Prime Minister is, even in a municipal ticket. Here, out of the 35% voters who said they voted for the BJP, 14% said they voted for the BJP because of Prime Minister Modi, which is essentially 34% of total BJP voters saying they voted for the BJP because of Prime Minister. Every third guy in Delhi who voted for the BJP did so not because of the Parshad, not because of the MLA, they hardly have any, not because of the MPs, they have 7, not because of anybody in the government or the party, they did so because of Prime Minister Modi. If you look at the two states, Pradeep, that means 1 in 5 of BJP voters are saying they voted the way they did only because of Prime Minister Modi. That's a big number, one man and the value he brings to the BJP ticket.
Yeah, earlier it used to be the most number party loyalist. Like we are voting for this party, pasand ki party hai, hum to isi ko vote karte hain, which was the case even today in Congress, ki जैसे हम तो कांग्रेस को वोट करते हैं हारे या जीते. Now this phenomena is shifting to a personality, and particularly in case of Modi, and which is the case if you see in MCD election, which is there for Arvind Kejriwal. So this personality who is actually responsible for the delivery, why people vote is they have certain amount of expectations from the leader, certain amount of aspirations, and different section of society has their own dreams and they call it wish list. Whoever government comes in, what netas are promising, they have to see whether they are delivering or not delivering, and on this very parameter, they decide whom they should be voting next time.
You know, I think, Rahul, this is fascinating because if you travel through Gujarat, you saw a number of people didn't even know the Chief Minister's name. They didn't even know that Bhupendra Patel was the chief minister. They have very little confidence in their elected MLAs. One reason why almost half the MLAs have been changed. They will complain on various issues, from local level corruption to quality of education, but ask them, who are you going to vote for? Nahi sir, humko Modi ji mein vishwas hai. So Modi ji has in a way become the BJP's ticket in almost every election, including at times municipal elections. And
no, but the BJP says, so what? If we have Sachin or Gavaskar or Kohli or Mbappe, whichever sport you pick, so what? He's playing for us, he's batting for us, he's our captain.
Nothing wrong, you could argue, in the short term, but in the medium term and long term, the BJP will have to look at it carefully, because what happened in the 1970s, Devkant Barua said, India is Indira and Indira is India. Eventually, the Congress organization, once Indira Gandhi was not there, began to melt away because you had such weak chief ministers. In Maharashtra, for example, you imposed someone like Babasaheb Bhosle, who was completely unknown. You had several such examples in the Congress in the late 70s and 80s, and the party paid a price. I'm not saying the BJP will pay a price in the same way, because the Sangh Parivar offers them a cadre, but I'll give you the example of Himachal. In a close run race where you have a lot of angst over Agniveer, over tourism decline, over GST on apples, on old pension scheme, Mr. Modi has gone to Himachal and said, when you press that lotus vote, you're not voting for Jairam Thakur, you're voting for me. So the anger against the chief minister, anti-incumbency, is sought to be offset by the prime minister's personal popularity. Now that can work while the prime minister is there. Now the question at some stage will be asked after Modi who? I know that we are in 2022 and therefore perhaps it's the wrong time to ask it, but the BJP has to be conscious of the fact that are you weakening your state units with the likes of Bhupendra Patel as your chief minister, relatively unknown, and relying entirely on Mr. Modi's charisma at times in close state elections. It works in a national election, Rahul, but in a state election, are you weakening your chief ministers? Except Yogi Adityanath, I don't see any chief minister who's lifting the BJP today.
But Rahul Srivastava, look at it the other way. 8 years into power, you have a man who on his own steam can add 10 to 12% extra vote to what the BJP would have got otherwise. That's quite phenomenal.
I think it's happening after a very long time. Indira Gandhi could do it primarily because of the fact that she represented a lot many things. Legacy, Jawaharlal Nehru family, the war, the tough lady, tough decisions. She took on the mafia in the Congress, the cartels. That's what Modi has become for people. As Gupta ji said very rightly, delivery is a big thing. Rajdeep for the last 2 days has been talking about Himachal Pradesh and why women can be critical. I spent a lot of time today among women groups calling them up. You know what they are saying? What is the most critical factor for women in Himachal today? That in the toughest of the period of COVID and others, the free food grain which came to them is the key element. 650 to 700 rupees saved every month. That is one of the driving factors in Himachal. If that works for the BJP, it can actually do wonders.
Particularly during the COVID, when the tourism is the major, income.
There is no earning.
Many of the people, and also adding to this the Kisan Samman Nidhi, which farmers says again there is no industry.
And Rahul, you may want to take it forward. It's not just delivery; it's delivery plus aspiration. Yeah. Modi today represents aspiration. There are two demographics where consistently the BJP has scored higher than its opponents, which is women and youth. Yeah. One because of delivery of welfare benefits, i.e. women, and the other because I believe Mr. Modi is seen to represent aspiration.
But in this state assembly election, the BJP's popularity in Gujarat, for example, is higher amongst older people than it is amongst the youth, which means the youth, and that's a problem in a longer term framework for the BJP in Gujarat. The youth, and also because they haven't seen any other party, that's the only party they've seen, aren't as happy as the older people who would have had a comparative with the Congress. The youth have only seen BJP, they see what's wrong, and therefore they have that innate desire for change, for some badlav. The popularity is lesser amongst youth than it is amongst the older people.
Rahul, one point which I wanted to make here, which is very interesting. I spoke to a lot of people in Gujarat when we were discussing that how Modi brings a lot of votes. I don't know whether Mr. Gupta has gone into the fact that the voting percentage has gone down. Last time, 5.5 lakh votes were there, which were nota. A lot of people didn't vote because they didn't want to vote for somebody else and they didn't want to vote for the BJP. people are saying, look at also the fact that how many people don't go out and vote for somebody else and they don't vote at all because of Modi.
No. Mainly because of wedding season, and particularly post-COVID, this wedding were pending for a long time, that open and wedding. And in Gujarat, and particularly Gujaratis, you know, Rahul, we met people, people in Jasdan, we met people, they were from Surat. We asked them, you haven't voted? No, said Saab.
No, but that can be one factor, Pradeep. It can't reflect why 5% turnout has dropped. So it's one factor for sure, in a whole host of other factors, including urban apathy, including the fact that voters aren't as enthused voting for a state election as they would be if Prime Minister Modi was himself in the ticket. That is a factor as well. But yes, we saw quite a few families, strangely, who said there's a wedding in the house, which is why we couldn't vote.
But you want to show us those Himachal numbers that you have, the gender, numbers. Because I think since we are saying that Himachal could play such a critical review, I think Himachal's gender breakup is critical. Where do men vote in Himachal and where do women vote in Himachal? And if you look at the Axis My India poll, in my view, that is going to become the key factor come the 8th of December.
So let me put this in context. What we've done is, now remember, when you saw the Bihar election results, the reason the JDU and the BJP won was because extra women voted for the BJP. Even in Uttar Pradesh, more than men, it's women who voted because of free kerosene, food grains coming to their households. At this moment, the BJP is more popular amongst women than it is amongst men. So here it is on your screen right now, the breakup of the women vote as a cross tab. So what you see is 48% in Gujarat, 44% in Himachal, and 34% in Delhi. Women said they voted for the BJP. The overall vote share of the BJP in Gujarat is 46. In Himachal, the overall vote share is 42. Yeah. So 2% extra vote is coming from women, which means it's obviously more than 2, which is why it's adding an aggregate of 2. Yeah. But you're getting at least 2% extra vote because you've got a catchment amongst women voters.
I just want to add one more to this, and particularly Uttarakhand, because the similarity in Himachal and Uttarakhand is there. In Uttarakhand, as many 11% more women voted in favor of BJP than men.
You know, the one state where this was bucked the trend was Bengal, which has a woman chief minister. Mamata Banerjee was almost double-digit ahead of the BJP when it came to women voters. So women are an important constituency and could well decide, in my view, what happens in Himachal. Because as per Pradeep's poll, the Congress is 5% ahead among men. So if the women voters are going to have to, if the BJP has to take on the Congress in Himachal, they're going to have to see that women voters, A, have come in large numbers, and B, disproportionately have voted for them. So I think this graphic will decide. If Pradeep has got these numbers right, the Congress edges the BJP. And also, if on the other hand, the gap among women increases from 44, 43, which is at the moment, the BJP has a chance. Himachal will be decided by which way the women have voted. Women are affected by rising prices. But women perhaps don't feel as strongly about the old pension scheme.
They are the beneficiaries of the Labharti scheme.
That's right.
They are the actual beneficiaries. Also, Rajdeep, important is the data is 14% lesser vote for the BJP in urban Himachal, which is very small. That's a very small segment. Equal number voting in rural means women voter importance is there.
So
that vote cannot be ignored.
Let's go to one of the women politicians. Sanju Verma, the BJP's evergreen spokesperson, is joining us. Ashwini Sharma, who is
evergreen or ever saffron?
Ever saffron, evergreen, ever saffron. Also joining us at this moment.
Oh, she's in green. Did you know she's in green?
No, I had no idea what she was wearing. Ashwini Sharma is still with us. Also joining us at this moment is Arshpreet Singh Khadial. He's Congress spokesperson, and Rahul Srivastav is still with us. Ashwini, to you first. You want to tell us what you think is going to happen in Himachal? Is the woman voter a critical factor? Is the Modi factor? The Prime Minister came and delivered a series of speeches in the last 72 hours there. Does he make the critical difference, or do you believe anti-incumbency was so strong against the state government that the Congress may well pull it off?
Rajdeep, both things. I think Modi connected very well with the women voters. And today I was sitting with the Chief Minister and we were analyzing some of the trends which he expected. and there are 4.5% higher voting among the female voters than the men voters, right? And then I will tell you how Modi connects with the people of Himachal Pradesh, especially the women's. Modi has worked in Himachal Pradesh for a long time, and he has been going to the areas, he has been connecting to the people. And when he comes to Himachal, he says, it's my second home. I come to Himachal as seeing my home here, right? Then he tries to, this time he made it a very important point that earlier, being a special category state, Himachal Pradesh has to go to the center and beg to the center. Now, your son is serving as Prime Minister, and I have a responsibility to fulfill your requirements. You know, the bulk drug park in Himachal Pradesh was sanctioned within 15 days' time. There was a process going on, but when the bulk drug park decision was taken, it was sanctioned within a 15 days, and Prime Minister came and laid the foundation stone also. Number two, Prime Minister, whenever comes to Himachal Pradesh, he either wears the Himachal attires or he tells the people that whenever he goes abroad, he wears Himachali cap. Modi ji in Israel wearing Himachali cap. He goes to Uttarakhand and wears the attire of Himachal Pradesh. And when he starts with a speech, as he has been doing in other states also, he speaks Himachali. He speaks Mandyali. He speaks Bilaspuri. Last time he was in Bilaspur, he was telling that Prem Kumar Dhumal and JP Nadda used to stroll in the Bilaspur streets and go to the shops. In Solan, he tells there is a Shole Wala. He named that person. So he has an art of connecting to the people, you know, and he tells that he is taking all the articrafts, traditional handicrafts of Himachal and gifting it to the dignitaries outside. So that is his way of connecting to people, number one. Number two, you have spoken about the anti-incumbency. I just remind of your own statement that the history is with the Congress this time. You know, the change happening after 5 years. So there is an anti-incumbency in Himachal Pradesh and there is a close fight. It's a very
well saying there's an anti-incumbency and there is a pro-Modi factor. So we have to see which actually outweighs the other. There's anti-incumbency and pro. You know, while you were saying all these things about Mr. Modi, the nice things, Sanju Verma was smiling. Very, Sanju Verma, there is the Modi factor. Is the BJP eventually dependent on the Modi factor? You go to Himachal, anti-incumbency. You go to rural Gujarat, anger against your state government and your MLAs in particular. Are all your eggs in the Modi basket?
You know, I have been listening to you, Rajdeep, and to Rahul Kanwal over the last 24 hours plus. And I have to grant you one thing, Rajdeep. BJP jitne bhi election jeete, you always qualify our victories. You know, Modi factor ke karan jeet rahe hain. You know, see, Arvind Kejriwal's party did not even have proper 182 candidates to field in the Gujarat Assembly elections, is what you said a couple of minutes back. I was listening into you. Then you said the Modi factor is bigger than the BJP factor in elections. Yes. I take all of that. I will just tell you one thing. Are we proud to have a winning mascot? Yes. As they say, don't change something which is not broken. So I don't see any reason why people are irked by Narendra Modi campaigning in Gujarat or Himachal Pradesh, but this is the same lot which keeps resurrecting, rejuvenating and relaunching Rahul Gandhi after every loss. Rahul Baba has yet to come of age, but Modi ji should hang up his boots. I don't get that logic. I'll quickly just say one thing to you. You know, let me take your logic. Hypothetically speaking, Gujarat mein kuch vikas nahi hua 27 saalon mein. You know, one of the panelists who's there on your show was there with me on Rahul Kanwal's show last week. And he said, Gujarat mein to logon ko khana bhi nahi mil raha khane ke liye. Excuse me, Gujarat mein vikas nahi hua. Gujarat mein governance deficit hai. Gujarat mein trust deficit hai. Gujarat mein Bhupendra Bhai Patel ko koi janta nahi hai. Logon ko khana nahi mil raha. Inflation is at its peak. After all these so-called negative factors, if the Congress and Aam Aadmi Party could still not give the BJP a run for its money, there is something seriously wrong with the opposition. That is the question that needs to be asked.
I have a question for her.
Yeah, please go ahead.
No, since you watched us for so long, let me ask you, how did you like our coverage in comparison to the others? Aap batao, jawab do.
Coverage was very good. That is why I've been watching India Today and dividing my time, 60%, 70% of the time India Today and baki 30% amongst other channels.
Arre baap re, this is the highest.
That's the India Today vote share.
Chalo,
like the BJP vote share, 69% in Himachal.
BJP vote share is 46, 48%.
In Himachal in 2019 they got 69%.
Okay.
So if Sanju Verma's time was to be compared to vote share percentages, it's the India Today vote share on election day.
I only hope she doesn't say the same thing for other channels.
Nahi bol sakti. Do you go on some other channel and say the same thing? Sanju, what is Pradeep alleging?
I'm sorry,
I just doubt, otherwise this certificate is fantastic.
Okay. Flattery is not a strong point.
Backhandedly calling Rajdeep the Modi of the channel?
No, that's okay. I am glad that Sanju...
Let me finish in 30 seconds. Let me finish in 30 seconds.
Please, 30 seconds only.
Rajdeep and Rahul, the key thing that nobody seems to be factoring in, I would like to again bring in the word which became famous after the Uttar Pradesh results were out. We were the first party to come back consecutively twice in a row after 1985, first party to win consecutively twice in a row in Uttarakhand in 27 long years. And, we are going to be beating the so-called anti-incumbency factor of 27 years in Gujarat and very confident of forming government in Himachal Pradesh. I'll tell you what, the Labharti model. Rajdeep and Rahul, you've spoken about problems faced by apple growers. You've spoken about the OPS scheme, which was replaced by BJP's NPS scheme in Himachal. You said people are miffed with that. Have you ever wondered that more than 9 lakh people in Himachal today are benefiting from PM Kisan? More than 5.4 lakh people are benefiting from the Himcare scheme. More than 6 lakh people have benefited from Ayushman Bharat. More than 4.7 lakh women have benefited from free LPG cylinders. The Coal Dam and Renuka-ji Dam projects, which were in abeyance for almost 15 or 20 odd years, have come up. Have you ever accounted for the fact that, Himachal is basically a rural semi-urban area? As you people are saying, Shimla, Dharamshala or Bilaspur ko chhod do. So Himachal is basically a hilly terrain. Despite that, imagine Tashi Ganga at a height of 15,256 feet above sea level.
This is a show on data. The campaign is over. We're just dissecting the results of the exit poll.
The interesting thing is Sanju Verma is not wrong with some of her facts. However, the interesting thing of Himachal, 2017 BJP wins. 2019 BJP gets 69% of the vote, but 2021 by-election they lose all 4 and come down by 25%. So nothing is constant. Let's get, Arshpreet Singh Khadial, the one state which the Congress will put all its eggs into on Thursday is Himachal. You seem to have been decimated in a way in Gujarat, and we'll come to Jasmine Shah of the AAP on that. But Arshpreet, what is it that you think? Do you agree that the Modi factor and that woman factor that we've focused on is going to be key? The Labharti, the welfare schemes for women are going to make the difference, and that could mean that even Himachal could go away from the Congress.
See, number one, I'll give you some examples, some facts vis-a-vis exit polls where they have gone horribly wrong. First, the Lok Sabha election of 2004, the exit polls were proven out to be massively wrong. Number two, the West Bengal's election in 2021, UP election in 2017 and Bihar election in 2020. And I can keep on going on this, but the fact of the matter is that exit polls haven't taken into account the biggest of all factors, that is anti-incumbency. If there was no anti-incumbency, Rajdeep, then, in the very first year of Gujarat's term, the previous term, Vijay Rupani and the entire cabinet would have not been dismissed. Number two, if, the Bharatiya Janata Party was confident, they wouldn't have had to flout the norms of code of conduct. Our MLA in Gujarat would not have been lifted. And Mr. Modi would have not had to campaign so much so, that he even went ahead and said that the Congress party has a massive undercurrent. It is, working at the ground level. It's connecting with the people. Be aware, he said to his own workers. Now, these exit polls are suggesting that the Prime Minister was wrong, are suggesting that he was incorrect. Now, how is that possible? Can Mr. Modi ever be wrong? He's the Prime Minister. I mean, what he says always happens is what the media has always
No, no,
shown.
but let's-
So how are these exit polls contradicting Mr. Modi?
Let's look at this. No, 1 minute now. No, 1 minute, Sanju. Let's look at this Modi factor. You know, Jasmine Shah, Arvind Kejriwal also, in a sense, appears to want to replicate the Modi model. Please vote for not the Aam Aadmi Party, for Arvind Kejriwal. Please vote for the Delhi model, which in a sense is identified with the personality. We are in the age of personality cult politics. Aam Aadmi Party claimed to be a party with a difference, but your critics say you have become just like any other party. The personality of Mr. Kejriwal is the reason why you want people to vote for you.
Absolutely not, Rajdeep. When you correctly said that when we go to other states, we talk about the fact that we will implement the Delhi model. And today, ask every family, every household in any corner of India, what has Arvind Kejriwal done in Delhi? But will the answer come? Schools ठीक किए हैं, अस्पताल और मोहल्ला क्लिनिक बनाए, फ्री बिजली दिए, फ्री पानी दिया है, महिलाओं को फ्री बस यात्रा दी है. If you ask any other household, let alone any household in the corner of India, दिल्ली में किसी को बोलो कि गुजरात मॉडल का मतलब क्या है, लोग इधर उधर देखेंगे. आप अपने जर्नलिस्ट को पूछो गुजरात मॉडल का मतलब क्या है. So yes, when it comes to Mr. Modi, it is personality cut. When it comes to Arvind Kejriwal, it is the leadership model or the Delhi model that he has built, which is centered around core issues that affect the day-to-day life of the Aam Aadmi. And that is the reason, even if we go by the Access My India poll, which gives around 20% to Aam Aadmi Party, I think this is a historic debut. This is, I think the national politics is going to change forever. Getting 20% in its debut election in the backyard of BJP, where Mr. Amit Shah and Mr. Narendra Modi were campaigning relentlessly, shows that Arvind Kejriwal is the future of Indian politics. I'll also talk a little bit about MCD election, Rajdeep, because here was an opportunity for the BJP to actually show what is the Gujarat model or the Modi model of development. Instead, what did they do? The entire of last 6 months, the entire BJP of Delhi, 7 chief ministers, 20 union ministers and 30 TV channels were relentlessly talking only about corruption. Manish Sisodia ne corruption kiya, Satyendra Jain ne corruption kiya, sharab ghotala hua, school ghotala hua. The people of Delhi have responded. If the predictions at the exit poll hold true, which we are very sure, in fact, it will be exceeding the results, then the reality is that people have
when the results favor them.
Model.
If the results don't favor them, then they're never sure.
You're claiming in a way, Jasmine, that Arvind Kejriwal will emerge as the challenger to Mr. Modi.
No, can I show the data around that?
Yeah, please, yes.
So if you ask voters in Delhi who voted for the Aam Aadmi Party, why they voted for AAP, 8% of the overall voters who cast their vote said they voted for AAP because of Kejriwal. Amongst AAP voters, 17% said they voted the way they did because of Kejriwal. But as an overall percentage of all the people who went out and voted, 8% said they voted. So he's much smaller, even in Delhi, even in an MCD election, a much smaller factor than Prime Minister Modi, but brings 8. Now that's where Rahul Gandhi takes a beating. You run the same thing, Pradeep Gupta, asking people how many people voted for Congress because of Rahul Gandhi. That figure could potentially be 0, 1 or 2, but it won't be anywhere close to 8 or 14.
No, Rahul, that is most important point you have to see. Rahul Gandhi has never held a position, the government position. I am telling again and again, people only vote basis on delivery. So where Rahul Gandhi is responsible, any kind of delivery whatsoever. So there is no comparison when you are comparing chief minister to any leader who never had this kind of position.
No, but here Rahul is the problem. Kejriwal still, for what it's worth, brings 8% extra vote to the AAP ticket. Whereas the Congress doesn't have a batsman at this moment who can score runs himself.
Yes. Rahul, that's a major...
party ka vote hai.
You see, if you increasingly see Himachal as well as... See, when we were talking Himachal before the elections, we were talking about some 17 contenders for chief ministers.
In the Congress.
In the Congress means there is a party in which there are strong leaders, Rahul. But you don't have a leader. Similarly, in Gujarat, you find so many congressmen who have been entrenched, good leaders, working for it, and they are winning elections on their own. Congress lacks a leader. But one point which was being made, that what is this Gujarat model? Rajdeep, people don't realize there is a Gujarat model. When 2013-14, if you recall, when Modi was campaigning, he used to talk about how migrants from UP and Bihar, when they travel, mothers feel safe once they cross into Gujarat. It's a fact. Lakhs of workers. There is an industry and employment opportunity in Gujarat. People migrate. Do people know that in Surat, 70% of loom workers come from Odisha? Now, 7 lakh people from Odisha are there working in the looms in Surat. That is the Gujarat
and
model.
Many are women.
They take these stories home.
No, sure.
So Modi has a national narrative about a Gujarat model, which he took into 2014.
No, I agree with you with one qualification, that even if you went in the 1990s, you would find Odia workers working in Surat. The fact is, the Modi model has built on a Gujarat growth engine that actually started in 1990s. The problem with the Congress is the Congress has never been able to encash it. Mr. Modi has encashed what was the growth model of Gujarat and taken it further. So when there is a gift city, for example, when you have highway projects, when the Narmada waters, which ironically the scheme was conceived upon much earlier. The road network was first conceived during Madhav Singh Solanki's time. Hazira was conceived during Madhav Singh.
The Congress has to allow a chief minister to go from Gujarat to Delhi. Instead of letting the high command run from Delhi to Gujarat.
You see, where the BJP scored is that the BJP in a particular period of time gave their chief ministers, empowered them and allowed them to build their brands. Let's give them credit. No. Whether it's a Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Madhya Pradesh or a Narendra Modi in Gujarat, they were given the opportunity, empowered to build a certain brand around them. So infrastructure, as it was built in Gujarat, Mr. Modi was there at the right place at the right time. India was growing at 8-10%. Gujarat is one of India's most business-friendly states. Mr. Modi's great achievement, I believe, is that he brought uninterrupted power supply, which benefited the state. Water has now started reaching different parts. Where I think he's still weak is education and health, which Kejriwal has cleverly exploited in this election by bringing a new narrative that what is happening to those outside 100 kilometers outside Ahmedabad or Vadodara. These are realities. Gujarat is not all vibrant. There are darker regions which the anti-incumbency vote reflects, and there is a brighter Gujarat model which focuses on infrastructure where Mr. Modi benefits. So I think we have to acknowledge there's a Gujarat model, there's a Delhi model, but to take your point, Rahul, there is no Congress model at the moment.
No, hai na Rajasthan mein, where Sachin and Gehlot are fighting.
No, I'll tell you what. In Rajasthan, there is an excellent scheme for medical insurance.
Sure.
Sorry?
Bhamasha, I think.
No,
that existed even at
the Chiranjeevi scheme that has been brought in, the medical insurance up to 10 lakhs that you are providing, Mr. Ashok Gehlot should have been allowed to go out there and say, look, I am going to provide social sector reform and make me the poster boy. But you don't want to do that. Unless you start projecting a model that is an effective model to the people, the Gujarat model and the Delhi model will start competing with each other. Where is that Congress model? The Congress attacks others for unemployment.
Rajdeep,
one of the highest rates of unemployment at the moment is in Rajasthan.
Okay.
No, it is there in Chhattisgarh, let me tell you. The one model is there.
No, but you have to sell it, no? You have to brand it, you have to market it.
No, but Modi marketed it himself. It's not like the party marketed it for him.
But the party allowed him to do it.
No, but he had the hunger and the audacity and the ambition to do it. Who's stopping Gehlot from...
No, the fact is Atal Bihari Vajpayee allowed particularly his chief ministers, if you see, to be projected strongly, and allowed them to be seen as the BJP's faces for the future. And I'll give credit to Lal Krishna Advani. Even before that, look at the number of leaders who were in that BJP period were given that space.
But Prime Minister Modi picked Yogi Adityanath.
You see, that's the one exception.
If the Prime Minister didn't want for Yogi Adityanath to be Chief Minister, he would have never been Chief Minister.
Rahul, see what's happened in Uttarakhand. The BJP had to change 3 Chief Ministers. In Himachal Pradesh, Jairam Thakur's ratings are well below that of the BJP. Look at Bhupendra Patel. Whether you changed your entire cabinet and you had to change your chief minister because you realized there's anti-incumbency and you appointed a relative non-entity. The BJP needs to recognize strong chief ministers like Mr. Modi are the future of politics of this country. And when you give them and build a brand around them, you will create the next generation of leaders. The Congress failed to do that and is paying a heavy price for it. And I think the BJP therefore scores over them at state level if they give strong leaders like Yogi Adityanath.
See, and one opportunity Kejriwal now has with MCD, if it is under his belt, his Delhi model will get improved because his delivery will get improved because the municipal corporation will be with him.
But will it? Because a lot of MCD employees are now central government.
Still, Rahul, because I think now the body will, there will be greater cohesion. Remember, municipal corporation owns a lot of land.
Sure.
Will give a lot of revenue space to Kejriwal.
Okay, we'll spend a moment looking at the VIP candidates of Himachal Pradesh. So I'm going to walk across and give you a seat-by-seat breakup. And remember, this is one of the remarkable things about this Access My India opinion exit poll for the India Today group. You can look at a seat-by-seat breakup. So I'll start with Chief Minister Jairam Thakur's seat. Access My India predicts for India Today that Jairam Thakur, in his seat of Siraj, is comfortably poised and the incumbent Chief Minister is likely to win again. Remember, in Uttarakhand, Pushkar Dhami lost his seat. That complicated matters. He was picked again by the central leadership, but he lost his own seat. Jairam Thakur had some anti-incumbency against him, but net-net seems likely to win his seat. Let's come to Anil Sharma, the son of Sukhram, now fighting on a BJP ticket in the seat of Mandi. Access My India predicts that Anil Sharma is likely to win his seat. From there, let's come to, again, Mandi itself, where he's up against Champa Thakur, daughter of the former Himachal Chief Minister Kaul Singh Thakur. Champa Thakur on a Congress ticket projected to lose. From there, let's come to the Brahman face of the Congress in Himachal Pradesh, Mukesh Agnihotri, fighting from Haroli, leader of the opposition. He is predicted to win. If the Congress were to be in a position to form the government, Mukesh Agnihotri would fancy his chances to be the next Chief Minister. So would some of the other leaders. I'll take you through their names in a moment, but there's Vikramaditya Singh from Shimla rural, son of the formidable Veerbhadra Singh. Between the last campaign when we met him and now, he's improved his game as a campaigner, as a narrator, contesting this time from Shimla rural, carrying forward the legacy of his father. He is likely to win. Let's now come to Bhuvaneshwar Gaur from Manali, State General Secretary. He is in a tough fight on that seat of Manali between the Congress and the BJP. The other man who'd be fancying his chances, dialing the phones, waiting in the wings for the 8th of December is Sukhwinder Singh Sukhu, the former student leader of the Congress, who's the chairman of the Congress's campaign committee, the Thakur face of the Congress in Himachal Pradesh, who is projected to win on his seat in Nadaim. So that, Pradeep, let me ask you the same question that I asked earlier. If you were to look back at the raw data coming from Himachal Pradesh, you had an opportunity to do so. Do you think that things are likely to veer on the higher end of your margin towards 40 for the Congress, or the lower end, which is a complete khichdi where anyone can win?
Let me tell you, in case of Himachal Pradesh, the most critical element, though we talked a lot about women and all that, but here, the rebel of BJP. BJP won last time 44 seats, and there are 22 rebels on 22 seats. This is a big number. So that is what holding back to the BJP despite of all this.
So even in those 68 seats, let's go seat by seat and tell you which are the seats where independent candidates outside of now remember, these are names you may not know right now, but if it's a hodgepodge kind of verdict on the 8th, each of those independents would be priceless. So Hoshiar Singh Dehra.
Hoshiar Singh Dehra, he won independent last time. He joined BJP, but BJP hasn't given ticket to him. Now he is again contesting independent and he is likely to win. Okay. The second seat is the Arki, where fight is between Congress and their rebel, Rajendra Thakur. Fight is between Congress and Congress rebel.
That's a tough fight.
That's the tough fight. Now coming to the important...
Sarka Ghat, where there's an independent candidate, Munish Sharma, fighting the BJP and the Congress again in a tough fight. So that's the third seat where an independent Munish Sharma, Hoshiar Singh, they'll be counting their crores right now.
Also important, Ashish Sharma is, I'm very pretty sure, more than 90% that he's likely to win from Hamirpur.
You know, I'll give very...
No, there's one more, Rajdeep, just one more. There's one more independent candidate in Nalagarh. KL Thakur, he's likely to win. So I just
He's BJP rebel.
So 1,
About 4 to 6.
4 to 6.
4 to 6 BJP rebels are there.
Yeah.
No, the ones who are winning.
Yeah, who can win?
These people in a small assembly would be priceless.
And where they are spoiling the prospect of BJP, though they are not winning, I'll tell you the Jaswant Pragpur seat, Joginder Nagar, Arki, Pachhad and Thiog.
So another 4 to 5.
Yes.
So 4 to 5 BJP rebels could win and 4 to 5 they could spoil chances. But interestingly, and maybe Ashwini can correct me on this, unlike, most small states in this country have gone through chronic instability because it's easy to affect defections. Yeah. Himachal has been an exception. If you look over the last 25 years, you've had 3 tenures of Veerbhadra Singh, 2 tenures of Dhumal. Now you've had 1 full tenure of Jairam Thakur. So for 30 years, there's been relative stability. The only time there wasn't was when Sukhram, in between, formed his own party and then negotiated to form a government at that time with the BJP, and the BJP because he had cases against him, he found a way of forming a government. So by and large, Himachal has remained one of the rare, small, stable 2-party states. Unlike my home state of Goa, where MLAs are available for the highest bidder. Ashwini Sharma can correct me, but by and large, Ashwini, barring that Sukhram move, Himachal has been a state, whoever gets the majority usually gets over 40 seats, right? So we can expect one side to get over 40, possibly.
Rajdeep, there was a time, 1998, when there was a tie between the BJP and the Congress, 31 seat. Then ultimately that you are referring to Sukhram's party, which was Himachal Vikas Congress. So they had 5 MLAs and 3 MLAs in order to avoid that they should be hijacked by the Congress. There was a split within the party and 3 MLAs were sent to the BJP. And ultimately Prem Kumar Dhumal formed the government. That was the only instance. And then there was an instance when Thakur Ramlal became a chief minister much earlier. That time there was also a defection in the party. But right now I was listening to that issue of independence. The rebels are a big issue, which even the top BJP leaders admit that it's a cause of concern for the party. And I have names of at least 9 assembly constituencies where the rebels are either going to win the elections or going to damage the BJP. So that is a very clear picture.
No, but give us a flavor of what's happening in the Congress camp. I was speaking to a senior leader who's in charge of, bringing this campaign together, and they said we're already talking to the prospective MLAs, trying to ensure they don't jump over. So that concern that if it is a tight fight, and remember, as I said at the top of the show, bragging rights come down to what happens in Himachal. Is there a fear, as was the case in Goa and elsewhere, Madhya Pradesh, for example, that some of these Congress MLAs could jump? So the Congress could net be slightly ahead but not end up in government.
Yeah, Vikramadit Singh, who is a son of Veerbhadra Singh, he made a statement yesterday. He said, yes, we are preparing that our MLAs, elected MLAs, should be safe and we can send them to other places. And then there is a preparedness for that also. Congress is confident.
In fact, Bhupinder Singh Hooda has been told that this is your assignment. Bhupesh Baghel is also there. And interestingly, the General Secretary in charge, or the Secretary is journalist turned politician Rajiv Shukla. Now, Rajiv Shukla, of course, is exuding a lot of confidence, but I think you need someone like Hooda Saab or Baghel, more experience, more seasoned to handle
and more money as well.
And more money possibly as well. Look, the BJP has got a reputation, Sanju Verma may not like this, but has got a reputation in recent times after what happened in Madhya Pradesh, after what happened in Goa, after what happened in Manipur, after what happened in Arunachal Pradesh, in Uttarakhand, in Karnataka, that this is a party that when it is a slightly hung assembly situation or a fluctuating situation, they can break the other side. Now, Sanju Verma, this is not a nice reputation to have, but it is a reputation you have. That you can break the party to form a government. कुछ भी करोगे सरकार के लिए.
Rajdeep, may I please? आपने बोला, मैंने बड़े ध्यान से सुना है. If you have the BJP representative, please allow me a rebuttal. I noticed very carefully when talking of how governments are being broken and horse trading, etc., is underway. You named Karnataka, you named Uttarakhand, you named Madhya Pradesh. You named Goa. But I'm surprised, why did you not name Maharashtra, where despite a huge ideological divide, Uddhav Thackeray, the NCP and the Congress came together, though anybody with a basic idea of Indian political landscape. Let me finish, then you can rebut me. Anybody with basic common sense, anybody with a wee bit idea of India's political landscape knows that the mandate was for Narendra Modi and Devendra Fadnavis. The mandate was not for Uddhav Thackeray, the mandate was not for Sharad Pawar, the mandate was certainly not for the likes of Aditya Thackeray, who without experience was given a couple of portfolios. तब तो मैंने कभी राजदीप जी आपको ये नहीं कहते हुए सुना that Devendra Fadnavis has been backstabbed by the very ally who got votes, seats in Lok Sabha in Maharashtra.
Question has been asked to Shiv Sena. No, Sanju Verma, the fact is that there are several states, small states in particular, where the BJP in the past has been able to achieve post-poll coalition.
No,
I'm not saying.
No,
you must accept that. You have the power. You have the.
I'm sorry, this does not work, Rajdeep. This does not work. Let me finish. You have a habit of heckling me. I will take 30 seconds.
I'm not heckling you, ma'am.
Okay, let me
You've been so nice to us today. You have said that 70% of the time you watch us. I'm so happy to hear that.
Rajdeep, may I please? Thank you so much. May I please? With folded hands, may I please respond? Thank you. You are a very consummate journalist, and despite our differences, I love coming on your shows. Having said that, I need to say something, Rajdeep. You know, I have been listening to you since yesterday, and you have said Gujarat to jeetna hi tha. Isme kaun si badi baat hai if they again win despite a 27-year-old, so-called anti-incumbency. I want to ask you one thing. I was even there on your show after the BJP won 77 seats in West Bengal last year, but did not get those 200 seats which Amit Shah had promised. I remember I was on your channel, on a whole host of other channels. Nobody gave BJP credit for the fact that we had increased our vote share from 10% to 38% and from 3 seats to 77 seats. Hold on. तब हमको क्या कहा गया? So what? जो जीता वही सिकंदर. Finally it is TMC which has won. Today the same logic.
Okay, we're running out of time also.
It should get a. Ma'am, let the Congress. Ma'am, you made your point. Arshpreet, Sanju Verma.
Now, are you fearful, Arshpreet, that if there is a tight fight, if it's like 33 or thereabouts, that you could end up with a moral victory but not be able to form the government? In Himachal, is that a fear?
Not at all. See, we are not really relying upon the exit polls. We are relying upon the mandate of the people. And number two, the Bharatiya Janata Party needs to stop cherry picking, exit polls. They say Gujarat exit polls are right. MCD polls are wrong. Aam Aadmi Party is doing again what it does always, following the footsteps of the Bharatiya Janata Party. They also started saying MCD polls, exit polls are right. Gujarat exit polls, Himachal exit polls are wrong. However, there's a bit of a coincidence that we've gotten to see.
So we are running out of time on this show. Here's what I want to say in conclusion. If the Congress is to win Himachal, it should really win big, Rajdeep. They may not win as big as Chhattisgarh, but even if they win sufficiently big, then they are safe. If it's a tight fight with 1 or 2% vote share gap, seats roughly the same, then it's tough for Congress unless they get a majority themselves to actually cross the finishing line.
I think if they get the upper end of Pradeep's poll, that's 40, they're safe.
No, but what if they don't get?
No, if they get anything less than that, and particularly if it's in that 30 to 35 range, then you'll have to send a dozen reporters across Himachal to know who's doing what. And the other problem for the Congress is similar to Goa in 2017, they haven't chosen a chief ministerial candidate.
But thank God they haven't. Otherwise, Sukhu and Agnihotri and Pratibha Singh would have...
While you're protecting your MLAs, you have to also be clear who's your chief minister. Is it Mukesh Agnihotri? Is it Sukhvinder Singh Sukhu? Who's your chief minister? So I think the Congress needs 40 plus to be safe.
Why did you leave Pratibha Singh out? In the Congress style of doing things, they could pick Veerbhadra's wife.
They could also pick her. My point is, I think the Congress is going to have 48 hours of sleepless nights as far as Shimla is concerned. Why? Because if the Congress does, as you said, if the Congress doesn't win Himachal, loses ground to the Aam Aadmi Party in Gujarat, is swept out in MCD, the Congress will then be struggling in a way to have any kind of momentum that they were hoping with the Bharat Jodo Yatra and heading into Karnataka, a state that they hope to win. So I think Himachal is critical for the Congress. For the BJP, it's it's all about Gujarat in a way, and for the AAP, they'll hold on to MC.
Rajdeep, one important point. Interestingly, we are saying that history is with the Congress right now. But interestingly, history is also against the BJP. In 1967, there were 16 rebels vis-a-vis the Jansangh. And the Jansangh only won 7 and the Congress came to power. So this is the second time the BJP has such a large amount of rebellion.
I have more data which we could go on for, but we're out of time on this show. So we'll come back tomorrow. We look at the results of the MCD elections. Our coverage starts early in the morning at 7. We have 84 people out at the polling booths who will be counting data. There's a 100-people team at the back end working on processing the data. So on the India Today screen, you'll see live counting numbers, round by round, coming in from the MCD elections. So all day tomorrow, we'll have that coverage. Day after, we'll have the coverage of Gujarat and Himachal Pradesh. Massive technology, massive preparation, and the best analytics you will find anywhere else. And some fafda and jalebi as well.
That's right. Somebody sent me a message, what are you eating? I was feeling a little hungry. I had some gathia.
Why do you bring these unhealthy snacks?
This is gathia.
Yesterday you had fafda.
Gujaratis tell me gathia is full of protein. So I'm going by when in Gujarat, do as a Gujarati does. So fafda and gathia are the flavor of the season. On that note, Pradeep Gupta, sleep well.
I'm waiting for jalebi.
I'll give him jalebi if your numbers are right. We won't do a dance, but we'll do jalebi for sure. Rahul Srivastav, stay well. Sanju Verma, keep watching India Today. Take 70% time now to 80% and make sure that you keep watching us. To all our viewers also, thank you very much for watching.
Don't mute me when I'm talking at least.
Okay, I won't do that next time. Your election destination, India Today. Bye for now. कल भी ऐसा करना
भैया जी हमला भैया जी 10 गोलियां ले ले
गोलियां